Hello, everyone. My name is Sterling Jr., and welcome back to another episode of Small Business Sterling. In this episode, I'm actually just going to be semi brief and talk about how to actually start a small business for those who actually want to start one. But the advice that I give for those who want to start a small business are actually beneficial as well for those who have a small business and want to expand on theirs. So basically, when you ever start a small business, I don't know, most people think it may be like tiring or like exhausting, but when you first want to start something of your own, you have that like exciting and like rewarding urge and experience to, like I made this. And I've honestly felt that same way when I started my very first business, actually, which is the Sterling Studies. And now that I just launched a nonprofit, I feel like just as happy, if not a bit more, since something that I created from nothing is now something. Yeah, it did take a while, but I'm still grateful and always willing to expand it, basically to the next level, and anyone can. So whether you are looking to either pursue your passion or create like a flexible like work schedule, or even just generate income for yourself or family or whatever intentions you have to do with the income. There are many different benefits with regards to running your own business. However, at the same time, I will admit, since I've had this current business since 2021, it can be challenging at times, especially your first year being in the business. So, just letting you know, be ready for anything during your first year as a small business. But you will require a lot of hard work and dedication. So I just want to basically share some tips and strategies for those who either want to start or if they want expand their current business. So the first basic piece of info that I would say, or step one, define what your business idea is and then your target audience. So normally before you start a business of any kind, you want to be clear on what you want to either sell or offer. Because there are two different types of businesses, service and product. For me personally, for example, the Sterling Studies, that one's a service base. So I don't have anything to actually sell like product wise. I just offer services. So like logos, resumes, websites, and even now I actually have a service for podcasting for those who want to start one, which I actually have a future episode in mind right now for a podcast on why small businesses should start a podcast, if not a YouTube channel. So, anyways, for your business idea should be something that you are passionate about and something that also would be profitable. So it's always good to sometimes conduct any like marketing research to determine if it is a high demand of either your product or service, and then figure out who your target audience would be. So I know everyone always has like a like or want to something, so it's always good to just figure out like what do most people need, whether online or word of mouth or at times eavesdropping, since I had some businesses or business owners admit that they overheard uh, I what bypassers said, and they turned that into a business, which is actually still, which is a good thing still. So step two would actually be, ironically based on that last sentence, develop an actual business plan. So any business plan basically is just like a roadmap that will outline your business like objectives, strategies, traveling if needed, and any financial progressions as well, or financial progressions and financial projections, since there's a difference. So it would actually help you with staying focused and providing that actual framework for making any decisions for uh, basically what you want to do, both short term and long term for that business. And your business plan should honestly like include descriptions of what products or services that you want to offer and or sell, and your target audience, which that's the main focus for who you want to go to, where you want to go to as well. Any marketing strategies, any financial progressions you have in mind, any financial projections that you want to include towards the business, and along with any funding needs as well. So I know later on, as I do more episodes, I am going to be interviewing some small businesses and have them basically share their process on what it was like for them to start it, how it is now, their first year, and even just basically like any future plans that they have, which progression and projection are always like the main keys for expanding a business while making sure it's still successful. And speaking about succession, step three would actually be registering your business and obtaining any like necessary permits or licenses, which that's definitely always key since when it comes to registering your business with your state or obtaining any like necessary permits and licenses, depending on the type of both industry and like location that you are, you may need to obtain either a business license, a tax ID number, a sales permit, or a sales tax permit, correction, any zoning permits, or even like a food handling license as well, because I recently saw a CMOS company not too long ago. I think they were called like Royalty or something like that. And they actually were taken down because even though they were super popular with getting like sales and people and influencers, they never had a food handling license, which that actually is key for if you want to start something food based, even if it's just something that's like CMOS or like ice cream. Like that's still food handling since you're dealing with food all the time, like giving it out to people so it's not get contaminated or something like that. And speaking about for registering, not only just register the business, but also check yearly since you actually have to pay a like an annual fee to make sure that your LLC or non-profit, either one, actually is still active because after a certain time, you do have to pay. It's a different amount depending on each state. I know right now I'm in Florida, so I think the renewal is like 138 or some like about 138, 140. And if I'm late, you would have to pay like a $400 fee on top of that. So that I would always recommend schedule your time with payments and basically just in general. Which speaking about payments, the next step would be, or step four, determine your funding needs. So every small business starting requires a capital, which considering how much money you need to start to operate a business, you need to obtain. Well, it varies on every small business. Some obtain like a small business loan. Some start applying for small business grants, which there are a lot of, which I highly recommend for anyone who definitely wants to expand their current one. Definitely look for a small business grant. For those who are starting, I'm personally not a fan of small business loans since loans you have to return back the money over time. But if you wanted to start, I would say go for the loan, but in general, I wouldn't do so. Go for like a grant. If you know anyone who is an investor, you can seek them out as well for any financial needs, or like me personally, use some of your personal savings to finance towards your business, which I was the last option, which it's actually worth it since you actually did it based on what you personally had and see what you actually progress from just that amount that you did, which to me, that's the more grateful sounding one, since you know it was based on what you did and you didn't ask or look around for anything. But over time, you would need to obtain or seek something out. And speaking about seeking, step five would actually be establishing basically both your brand and online presence. So when it comes to creating like a brand, it's always best to just reflect on the values or missions or visions that you have for the business, along with selling any unique product propositions. So the first thing would definitely be like obviously like a logo. So logos, and I personally create logos myself. It's always good to like have that brand awareness to basically show like what you do based on your logo. If you have any like symbolism behind that logo or any histories of regards to it, like if it's in cursive or any Comic Sans, which never do Comic Sans basically, but it's just a writer's thing. But but yeah, so always start off with like a logo for either symbolism or uniqueness, and even personal example for my first business, the Sterling Studies. It's I know not many people actually notice it, but it's actually two like fountain, the head of two fountain, what do you call them? Fountain pens. That's what it is. It's the head of two fountain pens, making a face. And my business is dedicated to writing, and I actually have bought a fountain pen in the past. So it was two fountain pens making a face, and then covered it with a top hat, which I'm getting one customized in the summer, and a mustache, which I have, and glasses, which I obviously wear. And well, after the logo, it is best to like just trademark the logo as well. The price varies on every state, but it is worth it to, just make sure that it's your own. No one else tries to claim it or anything. Next would be establishing the actual website. So, depending on if it's product or service based, you can just create on different platforms from like Duda. If it's more service based, personally, from my personal experience from creating websites like Duda, WordPress, Equid is surprisingly a good one as well. Shopify, even GoDaddy is all right. Whether it's creating a service-based website or a product-based website, and then after the website is fully done, it's always best to just have like some social media to back it up. So the main ones obviously would be like Instagram, Facebook, and personally, I would recommend YouTube as well, as a possibility for those who want to like show like video testimonies of people like trying their stuff or trying the products, or sharing testimonies of what they offered as well. While another platform I would recommend would be LinkedIn, actually, because I know not every small business has a LinkedIn, but it's always good to just have it for like more of a professional look, basically. So for LinkedIn, you can even list people there who for hire as well, since you can list job offers, and you can do any other like online channels to like reach your target audience, which I actually did talk about this before I recorded this episode, actually, about uh, examples for YouTubing and podcasting as recommendations for small businesses, which I'm going to talk about in a future episode. And speaking about future episodes, especially even business wise, step 6 would actually be building a team. So, like as that small business grows, you would definitely need to hire like employees or contractors depending on the type of business, to help you like run and manage your services and products. And I know not everyone personally does step six. Sometimes it's just, like husband, wife, brother and sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, uh, man and his dog, which I actually have seen as a team, which is still a good thing. I mean, no disrespect to them. It's really nice because more teams, like the bigger the team is, like the more like collaborational work that everyone can do and actually play a role in it. Because building like a bigger team, actually, well, especially who wants to like share that vision or values, can actually build their skills and experience as well with regards to helping your business expand to the point some of them can actually start their own in the long run out of inspiration. Because I actually have admit I actually did work for one company in the past, and they actually learned a lot of skills from there to the point they actually personally told me that when he left that business, he actually started his own business of a different topic. But he actually was grateful for the inspiration and like advice that he was given. So, I mean, anything can happen, and it's actually like good to have like that success story as well, like that came out of your business because you actually could have inspired someone else. And the final step would be monitoring your progression and along with adjusting your strategies. So when it comes to starting a small business, it is obviously going to be an ongoing process. So with regards to like monitoring your progress regularly, it's best to just make adjustments to like social, whether your strategies, whether it's on social media or in person progression, or even just first impressions as well. Because it's always important to like track your sales, expenses, any medical, no, what's that word, metric, any other metrics to measure your success and identify any areas of improvement, whether it's the website, the social media, LinkedIn, if you want one for your small business, or if you have one, learn to grow it to possibly get some potential clients or coworkers, or correction, or employees. And from there, there's a lot more with regards to progression wise, but that's actually the main key ones. Since I didn't want to talk for I didn't want to like like do like half hour just explaining that one, since that one would be like another one on its own. And so yeah, that's basically all my main 7 steps for starting a small business or expanding it as well for those who have one already. Yes, I will admit it is challenging, but at the same time, it is rewarding as well. So, based on these steps, and you are going to get more steps as well in the long run, it'll basically increase your chances of like success while building a business that's more like profitable and sustainable as well. So, and that's all my time really for this episode, and I really do appreciate you listening to it. My name is Sterling Jr., and if you do want to check out myself, go to my main website, which is thesterlingstudies.net. And if you want to check out my social media, the main one is Instagram. Excuse me. It is, well, they are. The Sterling Studies is the main one, and the one for this podcast is Small Business Sterling. I appreciate you all, and have a good day.